Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Rama.
Jayo Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe. Jayo Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jayo Nitai Gauranga. Paramahamsa Parivrajagachari Ashtotrashtashi Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charan Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnubad Paramahamsa Parivrajagachari Ashtotrashtashi Srimad Divine Grace Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Shila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 16th chapter, text number 26. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Yetau suretara gatim pratipadya sadyaha Sambrahma sambrata samadhi anubaddha yogau भूयः सकाशम् उपयास्यत आशुभाय वा शापो महैव निमितस्तदवेत विप्रा श्रीभगवान् उवाच एतौ सुरेतरगतिं प्रतिपद्य सद्य सम्ब्रह्म संवृत समाधि अनुबद्ध योगौ भूयः सकाशम् उपयास्यत आशुवायो वा शापो मयैव निमितस्तदवेत विप्रा श्रीभगवान् उवाच एतौ सुरेतरगतिं प्रतिपद्य सद्य सम्ब्रह्म संवृत समाध्यनुबद्ध योगौ भूयः सकाशमुपयास्यत याशु यो वा शापो महैव निमितस्तदवेत विप्रा Word to word meaning. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, Etau, these two doorkeepers, Suraitara, demoniac, Gatim, the womb, Pratipadya, obtaining, Sadhyaha, quickly, Samrambha, by anger, Samvrata, intensified, Samadhi, concentration of mind, Anubadha, firmly, Yoga, united with me, Bhuya, again, Sakasham, to my presence, Upayasyataha, shall return, Ashu, shortly, Ya, which, Va, of you, Shapaha, curse, Maya, by me, Eva, alone, nimitaha, ordained, tad, that, aveta, no, vipraha, O Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. Please repeat the translation. The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. Purport. The Lord stated that the punishment inflicted by the sages upon the doorkeepers Jaya and Vijaya was conceived by the Lord Himself. Without the Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. It is to be understood that there was a plan in the cursing of the Lord's devotees in Vaikuntha, and His plan is explained by many stalwart authorities. The Lord sometimes desires to fight. The fighting spirit also exists in the Supreme Lord, otherwise, how could fighting be manifested at all? Because the Lord is the source of everything, anger and fighting are also inherent in His personality. When He desires to fight with someone, He has to find an enemy. But in the Vaikuntha world, there is no enemy, because everyone is engaged fully in His service. Therefore, He sometimes comes to the material world as an incarnation in order to manifest His fighting spirit. In Bhagavad Gita also it is said that the Lord appears just to give protection to the devotees and to annihilate the non-devotees. The non-devotees are found in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Therefore, when the Lord wants to fight, He has to come to this world. But who will fight with the Supreme Lord? No one is able to fight with Him. Therefore, because the Lord's pastimes in the material world are always performed with His associates, not with others, He has to find some devotee who will play the part of an enemy. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says to Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, both you and I have appeared many, many times in this material world, but you have forgotten, whereas I remember. Thus, Jaya and Vijaya were selected by the Lord to fight with Him in the material world, and that was the reason the sages came to see Him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. It was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not perpetually, but for some time. Therefore, just as on a theatrical stage someone takes the part of an enemy to the proprietor of the stage, although the play is for a short time and there is no permanent enmity between the servant and the proprietor, so the Surajanas, devotees, were cursed by the sages to go to the Asurajana or the atheistic family. That a devotee should come into an atheistic family is surprising, but it is simply a show. After finishing their mock fighting, both the devotee and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual planets. That is very explicitly explained here. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or the Vaikuntha planets, for it is the eternal abode. But sometimes, as the Lord desires, devotees come into this material world as preachers or as atheists. In each case, we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. Lord Buddha, for example, was an incarnation, yet he preached atheism. There is no God, but actually there was a plan behind this, as explained in the Bhagavatam. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र श्री श्री निताय गौरंग की। श्री भगवान वाचा एतौ सुरेतरगतिं प्रतिपद्य सद्यः संब्रह्म संवृत समाधि अनुबद्ध योगो भूयः सकाशमुपशाय उपयास्यथ आशु यो वा शापो महेव निमितस्तदवेत विप्रा। The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demoniac family. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. So the Kumaras who were feeling guilty for excessively punishing the doorkeepers of the Lord is being reassured by the Supreme Personality of Godhead here, saying that no, please don't feel like that, because whatever has happened here, ultimately it has happened because of my willing and my desire. And all of you are just instruments in making my will happen. So you see, the Lord has his own Leela to perform. And participants, to become a participant in those Leela, is very glorious. Just like in this material world, you can see when there is a drama, say like when we do a drama in our temple, we enact a play. We enact a play of Prahlada Leela. Who are the main characters in the Prahlada Leela? One is Prahlad, another is Hiranyakashipu. And Narsimha is only for a small time. I remember in Bangalore, when we were kids, there was a movie, a Kannada movie that was coming in the TV in those days in Doordarshan. So that Kannada movie was, name of the movie was Bhakta Prahlad. And old movie. And in that movie, at that time, the star of that movie, the main hero of that movie was Hiranyakashipu, and he was a very big superstar of Kannada films. He was a big superstar of Kannada movies. He had a very big fan following, big lot of fan following. So in those days, not everybody's house TV used to be there. So in our house TV was there. So what used to happen is, our neighborhood people also will come to our house to watch movie. So it used to be like a small satsang of movie watching or dussang of movie watching. So on Sundays or Saturdays, movies used to be there on Doordarshan, only weekly once. So one Saturday or Sunday evening, I don't remember, this Bhakta Prahlada movie was there, and our neighbors and all were there to watch, and all of us were enjoying watching the Bhakta Prahlada movie in the TV. So as we all know, the character of Hiranyakashipu is very wicked, very cruel. And who is the character who is acting as Hiranyakashipu? It is the superstar of Kannada movies. He was the superstar. In all the other movies, whatever he is acting, he will go and he will beat up all the bad people. But in this movie, he is acting as a negative character. He is the villain. So I still remember, maybe I was in 5th standard, 6th standard, that's all. So the neighborhood aunties and uncles who are there watching this, they are all commenting, why they had to make this superstar the villain? Because everybody adores him, everybody likes him. But here, when he is acting like a villain, we have to criticize him, and that they don't want to do. They are telling, no, this is very wrong. They should not have made him the villain. Why did they make him Hiranyakashipu? How can we see him? How can we feel bad that director is not good, and even the hero should not have agreed for this role. He is such a good, he is our heartthrob, and suddenly the heartthrob has become a problem. So they were all commenting. So now, when I am reading the Bhagavatam purport of Srila Prabhupada, I am remembering. Why I am remembering? I am remembering because becoming a character in the Lord's drama is a great gift. It is no ordinary thing. When you don't recognize that you are chosen by the Lord, then you start making these distinctions of good and bad and cruel and ugly and bad and everything. For the Lord, there is nothing called good or bad. Prabhupada always defines God as all good. There is nothing called all bad or God has got distinction. Whatever God is there, it is absolute, it is always good. So here Krishna, he has designed this whole scenario. Krishna is the director of whatever is happening. Everything is happening by the will of the Lord. So there is nothing to feel bad. Oh, Jaya and Vijaya happened something like that. Why did, for a devotees of the Lord, why did they fall into this? No. This has happened by the will of the Lord. There is no question of coming to these things like this. So actually the simple, whenever somebody brings up topics, like generally people will bring up topic of some small portion of Ramayana, some small portion of Mahabharata, and then people will tell, why did Krishna do like this? Why did Ram do like this? Right? Generally they will bring up, Lord Ramachandra killed Vali like this. He went behind and he killed something like this. Krishna cheated Karna. Drona did something to Yakalavya. So many things like this. People will, generally in classes also, people will ask something like this. People's mind is always thinking. So why they are thinking? Because fundamental defect of all these questions is lack of understanding of Lord's will. Mahabharata, Ramayana, these are directly Leelas of the Lord. Every aspect of that Leelas is Daiva Nirmita. Krishna has planned this whole thing. And Krishna is saying this very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita, no? To Arjuna, Krishna is saying very clearly, my dear Arjuna, all these people are going to die. Everything is planned by me. Everything is set up by me. I wanted to accumulate people. I wanted to make Kaurava one side. I wanted to make Pandavas one side. I designed all these things. Why don't we see the bigger picture? Sometimes people will say, oh, see, what is this? Yudhishthira, he did such a thing. He put his wife for gambling. Not only that, he did such a, how can you call him as Dharmaraj? Dharmaputra Yudhishthira. People will make these things. Actually, we must see the bigger thing. There is a bigger design behind all these things. But because, why we ask? Because we are mostly atheistic. People are atheistic. They have no faith that ultimately Krishna is a controller. Very atheistic, generally. Everybody are atheistic. And this atheistic mentality makes us look at things only in the material dimension. Our thinking becomes very, very clouded. We are not able to think clearly. What is the ultimate truth? You are only seeing relative truth. Material reality is relative truth. You are not able to see the absolute truth. The absoluteness of an action, the absoluteness of whatever is happening in front of your eyes. You know, repeatedly this is being stressed in the Bhagavatam. What is the absolute reality? Like for example, the other day, the Sunday, we were discussing about from the first canto, one philosophical point. What is the philosophical point that we were discussing in the first canto this Sunday? We were discussing about how beautifully the personality of Dharma, bull, when the bull was asked by Parikshit Maharaj, please tell me, what is the cause of your distress? This was the question Parikshit Maharaj asked bull when Parikshit Maharaj saw that the three legs of bull was cut off and he was suffering in pain. So in reply to that question, the bull is saying, oh my dear Parikshit, leave it now. What can I say? What can I say? I can never say anything about who caused my problem. When it is very clearly known to everybody that the cause of the distress of the bull was the Kali Purusha, but yet the bull is not naming Kali Purusha as the cause of his distress. Kali Purusha is saying, leave it. Ultimately, the cause of everything is the Lord. He is not saying. That is absolute intelligence. He is seeing the ultimate reality. Generally, in material reality, immediately we point, he is the cause, he is the cause, he is the cause. We start pointing fingers. For whatever is happening, immediately we say, you are the cause. And that you are the cause is the main cause of all problems. You see, you analyze any type of confrontation that is happening, whether individually or between two people or between society, between community, between countries. What is the problem of India? Pakistan. What is the problem of this side? No, left problems, all problems of India is from the left side we have Pakistan, from the right side we have China. We immediately start thinking like this. But ultimately, a sober person, a spiritually thinking person, how will he think? How should he think? If he is really spiritually matured, he will start thinking internally. And Prabhupada always talked about this. Wherever he went, he asked, if you see that conversation with the Chicago Sheriff of Chicago, then Prabhupada met the Sheriff of Chicago. And the Sheriff of Chicago is telling Prabhupada, in our state, there's a lot of crime. Chicago is a crime-prone city of America. And Prabhupada hears to that Sheriff of Chicago, and then, please tell us how to resolve this. Then what does Prabhupada say? Let us organize Sankirtana Yajna. He doesn't give any, we will set up this police, that one, this one, nothing. Prabhupada says, let us organize Sankirtana. Because Prabhupada is saying, ultimately the cause of all crime is what? Lack of Krishna consciousness. As soon as there is lack of Krishna consciousness, there will be all kinds of inebrities in society. The Moola Karana, the source of all problems is this. Similarly, Prabhupada says, in the 1920s, in Prabhupada's childhood, Prabhupada says, in my childhood, when there was outbreak of what is that called? Plague. Outbreak of plague in Calcutta. He said Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and the Gaudiya Math, what did they do? They organized Nagar Sankirtana. And he says the plague was finished. So you see, a Acharya, a spiritually evolved person, he always sees the Krishna conscious aspect as the source of curing all other problems. Doesn't look for any relative solutions. Once Srila Prabhupada, when they got the house in London, when George Harrison donated his, what is that called? West Manor. When he donated his manor, they took that, they were happily, because it's huge property in just 45 kilometers from London. So when they went there, the devotees started saying, Prabhupada, lot of ghosts are there in this place. Because they were hearing sounds. In the night you are sleeping, somebody from the down, dun 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 dun, is walking. Now something and all sounds are coming. So devotees are, it is a haunted place. So then what is Prabhupada's solution immediately? Chant Hare Krishna. All the bhuta pretas will go away. And if you see West Manor now, it's a happening place of entire Europe. There's no temple like that. It's an amazing temple. Full of Kirtana, what vibration. Just like you enter Krishna Balram temple, you enter Vrindavan, how it is surcharged with devotion. Like that actually manner is even now. An haunted place got transformed how? Chinta mani prakara sadma shukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam lakshmi sahasrashata sambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Krishna is Chintamani. Krishna Nama Chintamani. Krishna's Nama is also Chintamani. Anything associated with Krishna, he is a touchstone. It will immediately transform the nature of that object. That reality becomes something else. So, this distinction that we have, oh, Hiranyakashipu, oh, Jaya Vijaya is being cursed. No, it is happening by the will of the Lord. That means, if it is happening by the will of the Lord, then it is most glorious, it is most wonderful. There is no any other angle to it. So, if we have that spiritual intelligence to see things, then we will not become morose in whatever situation we are in. We will be able to think or perceive reality differently. See, in this verse, here it is being said that see, Sambramba Sambrata Samadhi Anubadha Yoga. Very nice words Shukadev Goswami is using. Sambrahma Sambrata Samadhi Anubadha Yoga. Just like we say an yogi, a tapasvi, a great devotee. He is in samadhi of the Lord. He is constantly engaged in meditating upon the Lord. Right? That's a very highest platform, to be constantly meditating on the Lord. Here, Shukadev Goswami is saying, Jaya and Vijaya will be born as Rakshasas. And being Rakshasas, what will they do? Sambrata Samadhi Anubadha Yoga. They will be in Samadhi of me. As Rakshasas, they will act in Samadhi of me. And how will they act in Samadhi of me? It is saying that they will be firmly united me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger. Intensified by anger. Negative aspect. They will have so much anger against Krishna, they will constantly be in Samadhi of Krishna. For Krishna, there is no distinction of anger and love. Both are emotions. Both are emotions. Heat is also coming from where? From Krishna's eyes. Krishna's eyes is the sun. Sun is what is giving us heat. Similarly, cold. Krishna is also the moon. Prabhupada describes as moon as what? So cool. Moon will actually give you that coolness. So Krishna's eyes, Krishna represents both the sun and the moon. Heat and cold are different functions of the Lord, carried out at different points of time. Similarly, in Krishna's dimension, anger and love, both are different emotions performing, they are utilized for the purpose of the Lord. In the material world, both material love is material what? Material lust. It is lust. And material anger is wickedness. Both are same. Lust and wicked. Any difference is there? No. Whereas in Krishna's dimension, heat and cold, both are very important things. It serves this very powerful this one a factor that is very important in our lives. So, these are philosophical points which will the philosophical points of Krishna conscious dimensions which will enhance our intelligence and give us a new perspective of how to look at things from a Krishna conscious dimension. We'll stop here if there's any question, comments. A devotee always sees whatever is happening in our life. Forget about a we. Let us look at Mahajana Yena Gatasya Panta. That should be our way of seeing things. How do great devotees look? They never felt that whatever is happening in their life is happening by the will of the Lord. They always felt that they were unqualified. So that gives us a clear answer to this question. That we should always look at it. Whatever is happening in our life is my own misfortune or my own karma. A devotee sees like that. Even if it is happening by the will of the Lord, he individually starts thinking like this. And it is not, and it should not be like for example, when we hear in the Vaishnava songs that how Dina Krishna Dasa Koe Nama Sankirtan. They are not simply saying Dina Krishna. Or when Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, I am the most fallen. Actually, they really live in that dimension, in that sphere. The other day, Chanchalpati Prabhu was giving a class. Did you hear in that class? He was mentioning one thing. He was saying, pure devotees, this way I never thought about it. Pure devotees, when they see somebody in Maya, somebody fully in Maya, that time pure devotees see that soul, because Maya is Krishna's energy, no? Maya is also Krishna's energy. So, what Prabhu was saying is that when a pure devotee sees such person completely in Maya, this pure devotee, how does he think? Generally, when we see somebody in Maya, we say, oh my God, Maya is Maya. But a pure devotee is when he sees somebody in Maya, he says, this devotee has surrendered to Krishna's energy so much, I am so fallen. He sees it, he sees that person because he sees that although he is in Maya, because he is surrendered to Maya and Maya is Krishna, he sees a connection of Maya as Krishna's energy. We are not able to. We see that Maya is independent. We see Maya as independent, no? Oh, a devotee sees that Maya is Krishna's energy. He has surrendered to Krishna. So you see, a pure devotee is never, he will see anything separate of, like for example, when he told like that is when my mind also awakened. Oh, maybe, like for example, as soon as Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu heard that in the market that there are two souls creating natak, the Jagai Madai thing, immediately, oh, this is great, let's go to them. Because they are seeing the reality as there are two souls who are connected to Krishna, because there is so much in Maya. So, um, how we can see in our life whether this is Krishna's will or whether this is my own Maya. Actually, we sometimes, we assume ourselves too big. Where is Krishna's will acting on us and all? Yeah, everything is happening. Whatever is happening, we should be very clear. Whatever is happening in our life, we can very clearly see nothing is by the will of the Lord in my life. Everything is according to my karma, Baba. Sometimes we fall into these illusion traps because for a few years, for a few time, we have been chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we have a dress, we start assuming all these things that Krishna is acting on me. No. We must know, we must recognize our level. What happens in a devotee community, sometimes we use this context and all very, very easily. So mind starts thinking that it's all true. It's all true. प्रभु भगवान का कृपा है, प्रभु भगवान का ये है, प्रभु. Even if it is so, a devotee should not. That shows that it is not Bhagavan ka kripa. When he talks like that, yes, as a devotee, we always surrender whatever good is upon us to the Lord's mercy. That is good. That is needed. But internally, we must always be very clear that I am too far away from actually receiving the Lord's blessings like that, in that sense. So when we see things in that aspect, then these kind of things will always be humble. There is no need to make this distinction of, okay, this is happening by the Lord's will, this is happening by Maya. Why you want to think like that? Why I have to think like that? I don't even have to think like that. Nothing is happening according to the Lord's will. Something that I am doing, okay. Good or bad. Right now, let me think about how I can practice spiritual life more in a better way. What are the things that I need to do? In that dimension, let me start thinking. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.